la participation de Jocelyne Verroa. Hey, 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 hey. Ah, yo, Africa, Africa, ngasika, tulabi bamba, nyuso bamba, baninga nanga pinch, pinch na yo, otunga makamingi, koleka kutunga moto na zanga. Pinga naka, ya, ya, pinga naka, ya, ya. Comment tu t'appelles? Hey! Comment tu t'appelles? Qui, moi? I love you. Hey! On va gâter le point. Yeah! Yeah! Carolina. Ah oui, l'ongomba. Hey, j'ai coupé pour les bambous. Les mouches fait coco. J'ai coupé pour les bambous. Les mouches fait coco. Les mouches pas tomber dans l'eau. Si me kiss le jeu est fou. Hey, ya. Allez chérie, yaka. Où ça là? You are the powerful. You are unchangeable. You are dependable. You are unshakable.
ọgbọgụ dịkwa tight.
Mana Jesus anyị bụ onye mmeri.
Eze Jizọs nakwanụ n'ọgbọgụ kwuru ihe nlelebe oshada ya ba akpara Chineke ịnakwanụ n'ọgbọ asụrụ ekelelebe ohuputi ya ha aka ụmụ Chineke bilie anyị nọ n'agha mana ụjọ adịghị atụ mmeri agha anyị na-ebuo ọ bụghị agha arụ kama ọ bụ agha ime mmụọ imegide ekwensu na ndị ọrụ ya megide ekwensu na ndị niile na-agara ya ozi. Eze Jizọs nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ ọkpara Chineke ịnakwanụ n'ọgbọ mmụọ ka mmụọ ịbatara n'ọgbọ ebube eluigwe ịnakwanụ n'ọgbọ n'ala eluigwe nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ njem aka dị nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ ebube mbara igwe isokwanụ n'agọ nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ. For he that is in me is greater than him that is in the world. For I know that my Father is always with me.
Yes, sir.
For he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall my Jesus I shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Mmanụ ala tinyere oshi na-ejukwu agbanwe. Adịghị arị ose elu.
So,
Okirikiri ka na-agba ukwu ose.
eziokwu ka ị kwuru.
Ngwere hara ukwu osisi. Aka akpara ya. Ụmụ Chineke adịghị eji nwa agụwa chụọ aja. Onye si n'isi mụ na nwa aja, ya were nke ya sụọ. O chetara nke ọjọọ ga-eme ma a sị m aka bikwe ya n'ala.
Otu a ka ọ dị.
God not my anointed and do my prophet no harm, says the Lord of hosts. Eze Jizọs nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ ọbara na-agaghị abụ n'okporo ụzọ. I heard his word for sacrifice. I shall travel in peace, come back in peace. Anyị bụ ndị mmeri. Onye metụla nwa agụ aka n'ọdụ, ọ dị ndụ ma ọ nwụrụ anwụ. Ekwensu asị gị chakwara m n'ụzọ. Ekwe pụọra m n'ụzọ.
Holy Ghost fire.
Ebu m ọkụ mmụọ nsọ. I am made by fire. I am made in the image of God. Touch me not. Ihe isi ike asị gị chakwara m n'ụzọ. Ọnwụ ike niile asị gị chakwara m n'ụzọ. Nke mmụọ asị gị chakwara m n'ụzọ. Eze Jizọs ọbatago n'ọgbọ ọgụ a. Obodo ederego chinchin. Chai, obodo ederego chinchin. Obodo asụwago yaga yaga. Obodo edelugo chinchin. Nnukwu mmọnwụ bata n'obodo. Obere mmọnwụ agba ọsọ. Ị ma na ọ dịghị echi n'ime Jizọs. Eze Jizọs nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ. Ebube eluigwe sokwanụ n'ọgbọ. Ekwensu kwara ibu gị n'ala. Amụ gị nwa pụọra m n'ụzọ. Eze Jizọs nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ. Agha niile agaghị eri isi. Eze Jizọs nọkwanụ n'ọgbọ. Eze Jizọs.
I said these are the days of Elijah, yo, declaring the ways of the Lord, yo. Check. These are the days of the servant of Moses. Righteousness being restored. Tell it. I said these are the days of great trials, and famine and darkness. That's what we are the voice in the desert, crying, preparing the ways of the Lord. Take me, behold, the God. When you got the cloud, sell it. I didn't like the song, say, I didn't like the Come on, say, somebody, are you ready to praise the Lord? Are you ready? These are the days of the lives of you, declaring the ways of the Lord. These are the days of the servant of Moses. Righteousness being restored. Say, these are the days of great trials, and famine and darkness. As well, we are the voice in the desert, crying, preparing the ways of the Lord. Say, we go. Somebody say, like my God, nobody feel me like my God, nobody feel me like my God, nobody feel me like my God, nobody pass my God, nobody pass my God, nobody pass my God. Let your voice sing. Nobody feel like my God, 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 nobody feel like my God.
Live at the Musen Center. 100% of comic.
You are a liable God. You are a movable God. Daddy, come and do miracle. You are waiting for His power. You are waiting for your miracle today. Jehovah, come and do miracle. You're a miracle God. Somebody call Him. You're a miracle God. When your name son, that one was a mistake. Oh, Muchineke, oh, now God, they do mistake. No. I said, oh, doctor, let it be known to you that the God I serve, he know they do mistake. I know I am sure, but even I took it picking, now mistake. My God go do mistake again. I prophesy this morning. Anything men call mistake in your life, in your marriage, over your father's house, over your destiny, as you jump and shout fire, let it be turned into your miracles. Jehovah is a miracle God. He's a miracle God. Jehovah is a miracle God. He's a miracle God. Ancient of days. Jehovah Jireh is a miracle God. Jehovah Nissi is a miracle. Unchangeable God. Unmovable God. Raise your voice and call him. Somebody call him. Somebody worship him. Somebody praise him. Somebody tell him. Wave your hands. Talk away, it's a miracle God. I went home, I entered my room, I knelt down, I began to cry. I said, oh Lord, I know you know they make mistake. Look at the son you gave to me. Doctor said it was a mistake. Even a mistake, do mistake again. The Lord said to me, my daughter, from now to 3 months, men will hear your testimony. I prophesy, from now to the next 3 months, people will see the glory of God in your life. Amen. From now to February, people will see a sudden change in your life. Amen. If you believe, jump and shout fire. After 3 months, miracle baby from land. My body began to change. I'm again your name. You should now want to one day I can't carry my bag. I say make I go see my doctor. He be like say I get malaria, poor Adam typhoid. I walk and reach hospital. I say doctor, beg you check me. He be like say malaria don't come with his sweats. Doctor says sister Chioma lie down.
Would you like to make a 6-figure income? Well, you have come to the right place. At Venbati LLC, we can make your dream come true by training you to become a professional Scrum Master in just 6 short weeks. You heard me right, just 6 weeks. This may be the biggest life-changing decisions you will ever make. They say luck is when opportunity meets preparation. If you were walking down the street and opportunity walked past you, would you recognize it? Well, here is an opportunity you won't want to miss. At Venbati LLC, our world-class trainers would prepare you for one of the best career changes you will ever make. And then you can consider yourself lucky when you make that 6-figure income and laugh your way to the bank. If you are that person who can recognize an opportunity, call us at 240-701-7796. Check out our website, www.venbati.com. We have limited spaces. First come, first serve. Come one, come all.
Are you a church or ministry leader? Imagine broadcasting your own ministry show or program on TV for just $1,000 for a full year. 1 hour every weekend. That's only $83 a month. That's $20 per show. That's the opportunity ABS TV is offering every ministry or pastors. These slots won't last long. Secure your spot before they run out. Or maybe you just want your conference covered live. Well, we can do that too. ABS TV is reaching millions of homes in Africa by satellite. and other millions in Europe and America through Roku TV. You can contact us at 832-387-1460 and by email at info@absafricatv.com.
I am excited to come to you today with what is going on in Ambazonia. And of course, when it affects Ambazonia, it affects the rest of Africa. Thank you for tuning in once more, and welcome to all of you tuning in from Europe, including the United Kingdom, of course, the continent USA, including Canada, South America, the East, and the Near and the Middle East. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I am really excited coming to you today. Ground Zero continues to stand up to defy La République du Cameroon. The 2 cubes of sugar have since refused to dissolve, and there is absolutely no day in La République du Cameroon when their regime isn't thinking, what next do we have to do? What else can we do? Ladies and gentlemen, we are all tired, fatigued in this struggle. When I say we, I mean all of us in Ambazonia, and that is understandable. We have been fighting a war we're not ready for almost 6 years, and you expect that from ground zero to the diaspora, people will be fatigued. But in spite of that, we have continued to pay La République du Cameroon, give them a match for their money and for their army. And I'm telling you, they are the ones regretting this war. We are not regretting the war. Ambazonia doesn't regret the war. They gave us an opportunity in 2016 to demand that we have our own country back. And that is what we have been fighting for the past 6 years. October will make it exactly 6 years, ladies and gentlemen. So once more, thank you for tuning in. Please, you go ahead, let us quickly populate this platform. There is some good news coming out from La République du Cameroon. I am referring to the restoration forces stepping into Babajo next to Mbunda and stepping into the neighborhood in Dschang and taking the war into that territory. I have said here, and I will repeat it, and I will say it again and again. The time that our people bore the brunt of this war all by themselves on their property, on their villages and towns and cities, and on their families, that time is over. La République du Cameroon must feel the pinch of this war. And I mean their own citizens too, ladies and gentlemen. I mean their own citizens. They must begin to feel the pinch of this war. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, before I get into talking tonight, I am really fired up. I am truly fired up tonight, and I'd like you to go ahead, hit your share button, As usual, let us quickly populate the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have at least 700 people in the next 5 minutes. Before I start bringing to you this presentation proper. Again, I bring to you what is going on. The war that is being taken to La République du Cameroon's territory by Ambazonia restoration fighters. And while you hit your share button, please let me welcome those of you who are joining and come to have a feel of what is in your mind. I will take 1 second to step out before I get back to you. Please keep on hitting that share button. I will be right back in 1 minute, exactly 1 minute.
Are you a church or ministry leader? Imagine broadcasting your own ministry show or program on TV for just $1,000 for a full year. 1 hour every weekend. That's only $83 a month. That's $20 per show. That's the opportunity ABS TV is offering every ministry or pastors. These slots won't last long. Secure your spot before they run out. Or maybe you just want your conference covered live. Well, we can do that too. ABS TV is reaching millions of homes in Africa by satellite and other millions in Europe and America through Roku TV. You can contact us at 832-387-1460 and by email at info@absafricatv.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for remaining there. Let me join you on the social media and see what all of you are saying and thinking out there. The reason I do this is to give you a little more time so that within 5 minutes we get at least 700 people here on the Facebook platform. So please, if you are just joining, go ahead and hit your share button as soon as you can. I'm going to bring you those images coming from La République du Cameroon, precisely in the neighborhood of Dschang, where the Red Dragons stormed, I learned this morning. They stormed this morning. There were no casualties, but a lot of damage. Over there. Okay, again, let me see those of you who are joining. Let me see what is in your mind. All right. Hit your share button, please. Let the numbers jump. Ajakeje, London. To me, AROF should stop killing army. They should just go in La République and cause havoc. And let the French families also cry well. That's a good point there, my friend. That's a good point there. I don't know. We kill even 5,000 of their army. They just recruit the next day, right? They go up to the north, recruit Awusas. I don't know whether they are still recruiting Bulus and Ewandos, but I think they are preserving them. They love them. But you are quite on the money there. They're quite on the money there. Let's put some pain, and I really mean pain, on the people in La République du Cameroon too. They refuse to protest this war. If they really love us and believe we are brothers, as they always want us to believe, they will be carrying out spontaneous demonstrations in their part of the Cameroons on a weekly basis to protest this war. Not for once, not in Dschang, not in Bafoussam, not in Bunda, not in Douala, not in Yaoundé have any French Cameroonians taken to the street to say this war is unjust. We need Ambazonia needs justice and they need peace. No, they have never done this. And so the moment has come. The moment has come. And I will preach it again and again without any regret. This is the moment to take the pain into La République du Cameroon. All right. Please hit your share button. The moment we hit 700, I come to you with this presentation with the videos and the pictures coming from Dschang. Dear Lawrence Ambazonian, the anchor man, your voice alone is shaking La République du Cameroon and is making them shivering. Thank you, sir. Mbo Lexus, I see you. Humphrey Nguti, you are there. Amber Tucker, La République really needs to feel more pain. We are together on that, sir. Ayila Simega, good evening, Secretary Chris. We will continue to deal with La République du Cameroon. He says, we will give them no peace. Absolutely, sir. They do not deserve it. They do not deserve it. Please hit your share button as you join. Hit your share button as you join. Less than 300 people to go before I come to you. So go ahead and hit your share button. I can see those numbers jumping now. Please, if you are just joining Facebook, hit the share button. I see also Gideon Monto watching from Bamenda. The AROF are doing it. Wow, that's good. Yes, sir. Amber, I see you. I see you. Bertrand Ayok Baibi, say watching from UAE. Wala Fidelis watching. Blaise Tanyi. Malam Musa, I'm joining up from Angola, he says, thank to ARF for the good job done in La République du Cameroon. Wonderful. Peter Ngwa, I see you, sir. We will give them no pity. All right? Yes. No, I think not to, no, you don't give them no pity. You show them no pity. That's what I should read. All right. Bole T. Bole Tole T. That's the name there. Our anchorman, we will take it there. We will have to take it there by force. By force. Please hit that share button so that I can come to you with those images from Dschang or Dschang neighborhood. Hit that share button, and I am going to address some out there who say, no, don't go into La République. What do you want our people in La République to do? They will begin to retaliate against our people. I am going to address you guys. Stay put and hit your share button. George is a more pain on La République. He's watching from Belgium. All right. Mark Powell, the anchor man, making my day once more. You deserve my financial support. Thank you, sir. I don't deserve your financial support. ABS deserves your financial support. ABS deserves your financial support. And I want to believe that before this broadcast is over, some of you out there, ladies and gentlemen, will go to the website absafricatv.com to hit on the donation button to support ABS so we can continue to furnish you with updates of what is happening in this struggle from ground zero in particular. We really do need it. Without it, ladies and gentlemen, ABS will not be on satellite. Ground zero, we have nothing to watch and no information coming to them. Let us appreciate. Please appreciate what we do here. And I will also make sure that we have the Cash App and Zelle platforms posted to you before the end of the show. In fact, I think it is right here. It is right here. That is it. So you can look at that. Copy, use your phone, do a screenshot of those payment platforms, and no amount is too small. You can do 100, 200, 500, 50 or 20. It will add up and it will pay the bills, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for doing that. Without it, there is no way we can continue to bring ABS to you. All right. Amber Caracola, Secretary Chris, Natruse Fire Day Mountain. Natruse Fire Day Mountain. All right. I hope your mountain is my mountain. All right. Mercy Freedom, I see you. Flexi Bayangi, watching from Cyprus. Achu Bois, Damien. La République will feel the pains. Yes, sir. I see. Amber Jesus, that is his name. Okay, I see you, sir. Mume Darga, La République will not again in, I don't know what you meant to say, but you say La République will not again. I guess you want to say La République can no longer feel any comfort. Luciani Jack, okay, he said jam them. All right, Ernest Chia, the heat must go round. All right, Christopher Ngwafo, watching from Edi now, he says. Neighbor Mumbai, Celestine, watching from UAE. Atienjo Fidelis, watching. Bling Jota, he says he's watching from the colonial capital in Yaoundé. Fonyasi Ivanos is watching. Christopher Abeti, watching from South Africa. Mr. Chris, good job. Okay, you are welcome, sir. Mediki Dennis, the strong man of Ambazonia, the anchor man himself. Peter Ingwa, once more than just the La République BIRO dogs. Feel the pain our civilians feel. Then La République leadership and the IC will know we are serious. Yes, gentlemen, I have said this again and again. I have said this again and again that we cannot say that there is war in Ambazonia. In the international community, it doesn't see any war. When you talk about war-torn countries, you cannot count Ambazonia as a war-torn place. There is no way, because there is nothing there to show for it. All this hit and run doesn't move anybody in America. It doesn't move anybody in London. It doesn't move anybody in Europe, in France. What will move them is when there is movement from the other Cameroons. When there is movement in Ambazonia. When the people, the citizenry in La République du Cameroon begin to cry foul. When infrastructure is hit, ladies and gentlemen, with missiles from our own side. When what took place in the outskirts of Dschang is happening again and again and again in what happened in Babajo by A4 and Alagis of Bafut 7 Katas, when that happens again and again, when the citizenry of La République du Cameroon begins to cry foul and visibly show their pain, that is when, if you need the international community, you want the United Nations, you want ECOWAS, you want what CEMAC, you will hear them. You will hear them, but for now, as long as the pain is all on us, a little tiny minority, a little 2 cubes of sugar they want you to believe, nobody cares, isn't it? You saw what happened in Ukraine. They killed only 4 people the first night of that attack in the whole international community. All right. Please hit your share button. I need to see 700, and I need that. And I really mean that. We are less than 150 to go. So hit your share button quickly as you join, so that I can bring you this news from Dschang and the rest of it. All right. I see also Anna watching from London. Okay. Shake Kefe. He says, hello, Shufai Suiro. All right, this young man giving me this name. I've forgotten the meaning of the name again. He said, hello, Shufai Suiro. When are we taking back ABC? Because we don't want to be seeing the lies, telling, and propaganda of Dinga John anymore. Don't be worried. The process is on to take it back. Okay? Etiondem breezy, time to cross over La République. We know that we have stepped up. Next time, the entire town of La République will go down. Yes, sir, will go down. Ewane Debade or Debate is watching. Rita Munyongo is her name. The Lion Man, Anchor Man. Okay, thank you. Better, wise, I see you. Azumombo Samuel, okay? Samuel Agwe, I see you. Jacko Don, love you. Our most respected anchor man, he says. James Mulu, watching from Germany, Secretary Chris, tell us the good news, he says. All right, Stella, Anita, say match fire. We're matching it, sir. And the restoration forces, they are indeed matching fire. All right, Silicon, I'm waiting for you. Please, if you are just joining, go ahead, hit that share button. We have about 100, and I think about 120 people to go. Please hit your share button as you join. The moment I see 700 here, I bring you that news from ground zero. Okay, Margaret Elad, this man, now man. All right. I don't know whether Nami I be the man or a different man you refer to. All right. Master man watching from Ingenza in Libya. He says the moment is now. Wonderful. Indofwa. I believe this is the Bangwa name too. Piano market on fire. Ahead. Anchorman listening from Texas. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Nkengim David, I see you. Dschang Ernest Lovi, said, God bless you, sir. Okay. Silicon said, John Dinga Charles is suffocating now because he wanted to sell us. I'm going to be talking a little bit about him today, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Mucho, tell us what happened in Babaju. We are waiting. Absolutely, I am coming to that. All right? Okay, Claude Ngang, watching. Lo Casa Olala Bians. Wow. Says Secretary Chris, Charles of Togo is going gaga. Okay. Nagot. That is another name there. Social media names. Admissions into European universities are ongoing. Interested person, this is a fake. Please, this is a disclaimer. When you find people advertising on our timeline and during live presentations like this one, please do not think that we are the one advertising. We do not advertise on the comment section. So if you are following any advertisement there, you do it at your own risk. You do it at your own risk. Please hit your share button quickly. It's getting a little slower now. We are almost 600, but again, we have more than 100 still to go. Hit that share button as you join. I see Fundong Kengafe. He says the Oli Ambazonia. Shitu Awudu watching from Indiana. Wonderful. Daisy Junior to Ambazonia. Amber land is free. No peace for the entire La République du Cameroon. Bia Moron, he says. Venon Ad says the battle is boiling in La République. Fred Furnace watching. Aga Austin watching from Germany. Amber Panda, see you. John Robinson, sir, we love you. From Bamenda, he writes. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Ndamba Igwe is watching. Secretary Chris de Buoba. Okay, thank you for the compliment. Thomas Mbamgong, well done, Anchorman. Wise Perry, no, more weapon on ground zero. More weapons on ground zero, it means to say. LMG Roslin, tell us what happened in Pierre Market. Mr. Chris, I am coming to that, but I need to see 700 figures on my screen. So if you are just joining, hit that share button right now. When we get there, you won't ask me to bring that news to you. A.B. Nixon, Secretary Chris, I salute you, sir. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I see also Stella Anita, Charles of Togo or John Dinga of Bali. Come see game. Okay. ITZ, Don Bright, that's another social media name. And he says, good. The people of Ambazonia will keep on ahead. Please, the numbers are now at a standstill. They are at a standstill. I need you to go ahead and please hit your share button as you join so that I come to you with this presentation. Now, I will just take you there right now while you continue to hit the share button. So, I will start by bringing to you the images, ladies and gentlemen, the images coming from a little village in the outskirts of Dschang. It is called, some people call it Pia. Some people call it Pia. It is also called, popularly known in Dschang and Libialem as Ngutndeng. That is what that community is popularly known as Ngutndeng. They also call it Pia Market. That some people were writing the names of it here. I don't know all the names, but I know of Pia Market. That is the name of this particular market where the red dragons of the BLM invaded, ladies and gentlemen, early morning today. They invaded early morning today. The images you see, they are from that market. They are from that market. And again, there is panic. There is panic, ladies and gentlemen. There is panic in Dschang. I think there is an audio here that I think is coming from a native of Dschang. I do not understand the complete message. I thought I have that message downloaded, but apparently I cannot see that audio. Oh no, I think I see that audio message. I hope that it can play here. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, but we will do everything to see we can bring you that audio message. But ladies and gentlemen, the image you are seeing there is coming from Dschang. It is coming from Dschang, from that particular market. Now, I believe in Gundeng, this particular market is about maybe about 15 or 20 kilometers, if not less, from Dschang. It is a very popular market in that, linking Dschang and connecting the BLM. So we have learned that this morning, the Red Dragons invaded that market. You can look at that. Now, that population only returned after the Red Dragons had performed the act and then vanished back to their base. That was when you see, that is why you see people there in that market. Again, there is an audio message that was sent to me, and I will play that audio message for all of you to hear. I hope that the microphone can capture it good enough. But the people you see there, you can see some of them are going back home. Some are going back home. Some return to the market to see whether their foodstuff was still there. Now we have heard from the Red Dragons. We have spoken to the Red Dragons, ladies and gentlemen, and they told us there were no casualties. There were no casualties. They said they did not intend to hurt any one person, but they wanted to send just a message to La République du Cameroon, and they burned, set all these trucks and taxis and what have you on fire. And then we understand that they have also revealed that once this started, it appears that La République du Cameroon, they have equipped a vigilante group in that community. The moment the Red Dragons showed up and began to cause this havoc, they came out shooting. The vigilante group, they came out shooting by the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon said they ran out. Their guns became suddenly muted. Whether they ran out of bullet or whatever, they couldn't do anything. It was scary there. Now listen to this audio. Listen to this audio coming from a lady who is reporting. Now she mixes this in French and a dialect, and I really don't I really don't understand much about. She's speaking in Dschang or Bamileke language and mixing with a little bit of French. I'd like you to listen to it. Listen to that.
Yes, Ambazonian people are greedy.
Oh no, this is not a one. This is not a one. Let's get the one now. Let's get that. Let's get it. I hope we can get it playing here. Oh no. We will get you that audio, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get you the audio. All right.
Information maka ambabu aku de sang da so pia ali aka ali so pia beaucoup so pia un groupe de personnes de 4 personnes armées jusqu'aux dents tam ngombo tak so touche tami information très sûre maka to mato prosper atsang mato tigana ko ala chi amago ndo konga mala isi magan chi afu we ma we ko tsang do point konse chi awu ndo konga mala maka to mato yi zen to taxi mo ngongo ndo tabo fu donc ngono bo takala ngotami ngobe awe ngobe weni ala antongi ni mi de position ji ako parce que me non ko bo sen compte mbi awa ju man tumba amba antok tatambia fa asambia tambia shangana tankombe ali akembali asapia information non ngoela awo vraiment c'est très terrible c'est grave seulement merci mais nga ka jule maka songo be men ju bako won takmi so da mi matuwe bako totela.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you could hear that mixed in the Bamileke language and a little bit of French there. But that lady there is reporting the gravity of what they saw. And she is saying that everybody disappeared into the bushes in that area. And they only returned to the market to see whether their merchandise was still there. And she says the situation was very bad, Now, I like you also show you one of the videos, the only videos coming from that community. Let me bring that video to you coming from that attack. Where is it? All right, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the video coming from that attack in the neighborhood of Dschang. In the neighborhood of Dschang. All right.
FMA live. FMA live. Sangan dulu tua bahasa. Oh God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, you are looking at the images emerging from that attack in the La République du Cameroon's territory of Menua. They call it Menua Division in the outskirts of Dschang. And this attack was carried out early in the morning today by the Red Dragons, leaving Le BLM and encroaching into this La République du Cameroon's territory to launch this attack. Now, what we are hearing is that there are threats. There are threats right now in Dschang and La République du Cameroon. There are threats coming from Dschang in particular, La République du Cameroon in general, to start going after Ambazonian refugees and Ambazonian settlers living in the French Cameroon towns and cities, Dschang included. And we don't know what they plan to do. We do not know what they plan to do, but we have to caution every Ambazonian living in any French Cameroon territory. This war isn't going to get better. It is not going to get any better. If you think that living in La République du Cameroon, you are safe, I want to assure you, you aren't safe. You are not safe. There can be no safer place than your own home, than your own territory. We will encourage you, if you live in Douala, in Yaoundé, in Dschang, in Bunda, in Bafoussam, please begin to think of where to move to. If it means coming back home, it is better you are killed at your home or in your home and your people take care of you than to be slaughtered in foreign territory and your family never have to see or find your corpse. So please, this message is very important. This what you see emerging from Dschang, emerging from that village that no pity and the warriors attack, emerging from Babaju. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only a tip of the iceberg. We will get to Bafoussam, we will get to Douala, we will get to Yaoundé, and they must feel the pinch of this war, as we have done for the past 6 years, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you out there who are saying, we shouldn't attack in La République du Cameroon's territory. No. For as long as we remain in our own territory to the war, there is no war going on in Ambazonia. Again, for as long as we remain in our territory trying to so-called defend ourselves, this war doesn't exist in the eyes of the international community. They will begin to recognize that there is true war. Can you imagine for 6 years, La République du Cameroon continues to call this, and even some in the international community continue to call it the crisis in Cameroon, the crisis in the Cameroon. And La République du Cameroon has also said, somebody just told me this today, they are ready, they are willing to sit down with Ambazonians, but secession must not be on the table. They cannot talk about secession. It cannot be on the table. They call it a crisis. Now, when they call it a crisis, ladies and gentlemen, they are saying this is an internal conflict in their country. And which is their country? Cameroon, of course, including the southern Cameroons. That is the message that La République du Cameroon wants the international community to believe. So they continue to call it a crisis. A crisis. It is not a crisis. For as long as they call it a crisis, Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons, they continue to consider it as part of Cameroon, in spite of the fact that we declared the restoration of our independence 6 years ago. We must deny them. We must deny them that argument, ladies and gentlemen. We must deny them that argument. And the only way we deny them that argument is by taking the war into their territories. That is the only way to deny La République du Cameroon the language of internal crisis. The language that we are one people, one country. The only way to deny them that language is to take the attacks into their own territory. And I don't want to hear somebody say, oh, do you understand what you are talking about? This is a matter of international what? International crime. Who told you that? This is war, ladies and gentlemen. And when it is war, everybody has or is entitled to the monopoly of offense. And that is what Ambazonians must begin to do. We've started it. The pain is going over. And as I heard today in Dschang, there is fear. Fear has gripped that city. Fear has gripped that city. But let me assure them, they haven't seen anything yet. The entire so-called west region, of La République du Cameroon, they have not seen anything yet. This is only a tip of the iceberg. Again, if you are Ambazonian, living anywhere in Dschang, please, we encourage you. We encourage you. Your security is critical now. Your safety is critical now. But let me warn Francophones out there. Do not forget, you have your brothers in Bamenda. You have your brothers all over the southern Cameroons, in Kumba, in Victoria. In fact, Victoria is full of your own brothers and sisters. You have them in Boya, you have them in Tico, you have them everywhere in Ambazonia. Should anybody be killed, any Ambazonian be killed in your territory, then you would have just given us what we want. You would have just given us what we want. We came up years ago about Francophones should leave, and we tempered it with mercy, and they are still there. We have not driven them away. But one Ambazonian that is killed in French Cameroon, we will make sure 10 in Ambazonia pay the price. 10 Francophones in Ambazonia pay the price. That is where we are heading to. A lot of population know this. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if we do not take this seriously, the world will be out there laughing at us. We will fight and defend ourselves for the next 15 years. And the world will not care. The world will not care. The West in particular, they will not care. We have a solution now, taking it over to La République du Cameroon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take you to another subject here, which I consider also very, very important. But before I take you to that subject, I'd like to remind you, I'd like to bring you this footage here to remind you. It appears that that footage has disappeared. It appears that footage has disappeared. Or where is it? Or where is it? Okay. Apparently, that if I find that footage in the course of this, I'll bring it to you. But I wanted to say this. Also, we have learned that yesterday, I think it was yesterday, the 7 Qatas led by General A4 and the Alaji, they invaded Babaju. Now, Babaju is another outskirt of Mbunda, still in the west region of La République du Cameroon. They went in there, took care of around 3 French Cameroon gendarmes. Some were killed, some were hospitalized, and they left havoc in that environment too. Somebody may be asking, what do Francophones have to do so that the restoration forces are not encroaching into their territory? What you have to do is go out there, carry out demonstrations and protest this war and demand that Paul Biya and his cronies and lackeys, they negotiate. They sit down and negotiate or agree to mediation to this conflict. That's the only thing we want. That's the only thing we want, because we truly believe if from the onset of this war, you Francophones who pretend you are our brothers were rising, just imagine Victoria, ladies and gentlemen, where you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of Francophones. If those Francophones in Victoria had just taken to the street at the onset of this war to say, hey, we are living here peacefully, they are our brothers, how can you attack them that way? How can you continue to kill them that way? If they rose up just in Victoria and maybe upstation Bamenda, my 3, 2, 4, 5 in Bamenda, maybe we won't be here today. But you know what?
Everybody who has defied our ghost towns in Ambazonia are francophones. They are francophone. So instead of protesting the war, they are aiding and abetting the war. They never respect the ghost towns. I learned they are trying to do so now, even in Kumba. You know what? We will visit you. You will be visited. This is just the beginning. So we want to thank God for the 7 Qatas out there, A4 and Alaji. I know that we have really come after you before in a very vicious attack because of the kidnappings and the ransoms that you can. The 7 Qatas were carrying out there. But listen, any moment, every AROF camp turns around and begins to do the right thing, you can trust that we will stand behind you, we will support you, we will encourage you, we will give you what you need to wage this war against La République du Cameroon. And they left Bafut, imagine, ladies and gentlemen, they left all the way from Bafut all the way to Babaju. I have driven through Babaju. Babaju again is like about 10 kilometers from Bunda. They went all the way in there and launched an attack against La République du Cameroon. I'm looking forward to these things happening in Douala and happening in Yaoundé. It is very critical. And if you are out there and you want to do something, you want to do something in Yaoundé, you want to do something in Douala, in Bafoussam, and you need some help, contact us. Contact us. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some of you fighting this war and running and hiding. If we are fighting and running and hiding, it will take us 50 years to win the war. There is nothing like International Criminal Court. There is nothing like international community. There is nothing like war crimes. If there were war crimes, La République du Cameroon would suffer it first. Not you and me, who are merely defending themselves, who were declared war upon. If those things exist, let them face La République du Cameroon. That is why we'll not sit here thinking that, oh, I should be a little bit careful with what I say here. No, not when my people are in the bushes. Not when our people are being slaughtered on a daily basis. Not when our hospitals are burnt down. Not when our people, again, ladies and gentlemen, live in refugee camps with no hope of going back anytime soon. So we must put everything out there on the table. Only cowards will run and hide and say, Secretary Chris, no, let's not go into La République. Let's not go into Yaoundé. Let's just defend ourselves so that we're not called war criminals. I prefer to be in jail as a free person than stay outside, ladies and gentlemen, in a country in which I should be free to be a prisoner. And all of us must stand up to this. All of us must stand up to this. All right. I am joined, ladies and gentlemen, with a team here of Uncle B. Uncle B is joining me. Mr. Fossey, Mike, is also joining me. And I believe Reverend Ginny is also joining. Please log on. I will bring you guys in before we move to the next subject here. Uncle B, it's great to have you back again, sir. I hope you can hear me.
Can you hear me? I hope so.
I can hear you good. Please bend down your camera a little bit. We need more of you in the screen. Wonderful. Great. Perfect. Uncle B, this is what you've seen what is happening there in La République du Cameroon, from Babaju, from what is the name of that place that no PT was there? Is it in Jitapum or something like that? And now you have the outskirts, a market in the outskirts of Dschang. What do you make of these exploits by our restoration fighters?
Well, Secretary Chris, I want to say greetings to the about 800 listeners who are here today. I mean, right now, before we get up to 1,000. Before I go on to say something, I want us to know one thing. And that one thing is, you came to this revolution alone. Nobody should send you out of this revolution. You came here alone, determined before you knew why you came here. Let nobody deter you. Instead, let us double our efforts and overcome our obstacles. The winning is on our side. That said, ladies and gentlemen, Secretary, you're talking to me about our exploits.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, when the non-nonsense Secretary for Defense said this, people thought, well, no PT used to do this without us openly declaring that we are going to come after them. Now, when the non-nonsense Secretary for Defense came and said, we are coming after you, the 2-3 months, from 3 months, we are already getting there. Well, it is sometime when you let somebody taste what others be suffering, it rings a bell and it makes them understand that there's something really wrong somewhere. Those guys were neighbors to Libya, where they be pounding them for all these 4-5 years. They never saw the pain. They never felt how these people were suffering. But now they ran into the bush today. They're beginning to know that it was something serious. And if we did not take it there, they will not even imagine. You see, Secretary Chris, what we fight here, as you've been saying about the International Criminal Court, is the fact that International Criminal Court takes you to court and send you to prison. They don't kill you. And what of all these boys who have died in their 1,000 to 4,000 plus, sacrificing to die? If you are only afraid that, oh, I might go to the International Court, as you say, a lot of people would have been in a long time ago, with all the burning the hospital, all of that. So let us go out for the full-fledged war. Until they feel it, until people feel it, it will be that people will be calling the police, stop this, because they don't feel, they will feel it. If they don't feel it, it will be difficult for them to really tell their government, please stop what is going on over there. I was getting there little by little. But the problem here is the exploit of our guys over there is just the beginning. Sometimes they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. I don't know what I can translate that to what they're doing here today. Let them feel it. I'm telling you, their thinking is going to change dramatically for what is happening within this short time. How many times they felt it?
Absolutely.
Our boys are determined. Our boys are determined. They've
Let's
given
get
their
to
lives.
The Honorable Njini here, who is joining us from Europe. This is a new phenomenon, comrade, and I believe it is going to change the nature of this war. I have said that when you look at Europe, when you look at what is going on in Europe, Ukraine, for example, and then you look at the Middle East, Syria, you see what is going on there, you see devastation. You find devastation and it qualifies it as war. Nobody will care about what is going on in Ambazonia without such devastation, either in the human or property proportion, isn't it?
Exactly, Secretary Chris. Exactly. This is a call for concern, a call for sit up to the Republic of Cameroon and to all the Republican citizens. You know, there is a common saying, which is conventional. It says, the evil that men do live after them, you know, but it has been proven very true that it doesn't only live after them, it lives with them. And anytime when you are that enemy, recalcitrant in your activities, in your wickedness, bended for destruction against somebody called your enemy, who is not an enemy, that evil you are planting or you are launching out doesn't only live after you, but lives with you and can overtake you at any moment. You know, this last 6 years or last 5.5 years has been a painful revelation. We have learned painful lessons from who the Republic and their warlords are. Yet there have been valuable lessons to teach us to be true to ourselves and to be true to our own freedom. And this is a call not only for the Republicans and their warlords, but to every Ambazonian, especially those who are still on the fence, not showing up where they belong to. It is true, some have been recalcitrant and foolish in their actions, supporting and enabling the Republic in one way or the other, who are being laughed laughed upon or who have become laughing stock by the very warlords of La Republique. Yet, they have to come to their senses. And every other on the fence have to come to their senses and have a standing or a sense of belonging. And so this is a loud message like Honorable Uncle B has mentioned here. And we believe that the echoes of it are reaching the corridors of La Republique, Cameroon, and all the warlords. We are looking forward, not only thinking that it is going to get to Yaoundé, but that it's going to get to Itudi. And that the Grandmaster who is behind all this and intoxicating his warlords and the brutal terrorist against Ambazonian, against the Southern Cameroons and their land. It is so sudden, so sudden. This is just one market. But when you think about how many villages, more than 512 in the whole of Southern Cameroons and Ambazonia have been destroyed. You can see one by here, but think about those who have been hundreds of bikes that have been burned, plus the riders all together. We are lamenting and thinking about 2 months ago, about 2 months ago, the 40 boys who were arrested from Oko, returning from a burial of a colleague brutally killed by this,
the 40,
army.
Right.
Yeah, 40 of them. We don't have a sense of any information about that till today. So the world has rallied behind Ukraine. You talked about, just a transition of a day and a night. There was an awakening call, and the media organs of the world sensitizing and passing through the information about what's happening in Ukraine because of the firepower, that it came crumbling down story buildings and all kinds of things. And, it's like the world and the powers that be look for a moment like this before they can step into the scene, where we believe is a dawn for Ambazonia or the Southern Cameroons. And it's a turning point in this year 2022 and never before. So if the gods and the warlords of that country can sit up as soon as possible, the message just passed and mentioned they are willing for negotiation and looking for a way forward, but exclusively, or excluding that idea of separation. This is not something new. When we reflect on the warnings of late Cardinal Tumi, who was sent out, on investigative report and census, he made mention, when you follow him in Equinox TV, he made mention that they are not only looking for, or they are only going to come and talk on federation and whatever, but negotiation or total separation was the higher percentage of 69 people of Ambazonians who stood out for absolute separation. And the journalist there asked him, can that be possible? He said, why not? Negotiation means negotiation, and any option should be put on the table. This is what we are standing in for, and all the painful lessons that we have learned through is a call for every true Ambazonia, everywhere, to be true to himself and patriotic to this cause, because there is no retreat, there is no
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me bring in Mike Fusi to give us his take on all of this. Mike, please.
Yes, Secretary Chris, it's good to be on ABS TV again this afternoon, and I would like to say hello to Honorable Uncle B and Honorable Reverend Jenny. It's good to have you, both of you on the set today. Yes, with regards to what is happening now in La Republic of Cameroon, the pain being inflicted on them by our restoration fighters, it's been a long time coming, and we've waited for this day, and finally it is happening. We can't be happier to see this happening. Let me take us a little bit back to when this war started and what La Republic. Oh, sorry. Just.
All right, Uncle B, take it from there. Why Mike returns?
Yes, I want to thank you, Secretary Chris. I wanted to, Honorable Reverend Jenny just mentioned something that he said. They are open for negotiation, but excluding that word separation. So if you take him down memory lane, It was that nothing is happening. There's no Anglophone problem. They got from all, there was nothing in Anglophone, like Anglophone problem is a problem for all of Ambazonia. If from there till today, they already recognize that there is a problem, and now they had that their nonsense thing on the call, the ground dialogue or what, if they are able to be sent to that negotiation, but excluding what they call separation, we therefore mean that they are now open for a federation. Isn't that by implication? That's what it means. The only thing that can be excluded is separation. Therefore, they are open for every other thing. Therefore, they've moved from where there was no problem, there was no Anglophone problem in Cameroon. Now they got up right up to where they're already saying that the only thing can be excluded is separation. So it just means to tell us that it is ready, our message is getting across. We are already doing what we are supposed to do, but we don't need to put that push, which is what this guy just started today. These guys have just started something. I mean, no PT started it, and then Seven Kata did that, and then FMA is doing it today. When their people start feeling this, very soon they will open for everything. If we had done, if the former president had done what this president today is doing, St. Chris will not be where we are today. If you see how much monies that Ambazonia have pumped into this revolution, individuals, into their millions of US dollars, which is almost $1 trillion Cameroon money, but yet you cannot see any tangible material bought for any fighting for even just 3, 4, 5 AKs, but are given from the federal government. Nothing. Our 20%, our president baskets. You know, when they are starting a draft, there's always a launch of a draft that always get up to around $300 something thousand. The 3 times they've done now already give you $1 million. 4 $1 million point something dollars. And this guy, if it called the money that will put into this revolution, excluding this, but he said they should give him $2 million. The money that has gone through this guy is more than even getting to almost $3 million US dollars. But yet, we have not met an inch from the promise. If they gave him $2 million, he was going to take out to Boya or close to Boya. These people who are running ask themselves, we've not even made the first step. I will not say first step because Ali will have 8 cases there now. But getting to Boya, we're closer to Boya. So what I want to say here is change is something that is very, very inevitable. Madam Marianta has come up now. We see what is going by her own program. How much we put into this guy with nothing realized. I would not say very little realized. But we see the woman what we're already doing now. These people are going to feel it. They will know what the Anglophones the Ambazonians are passing through, and they will be passing through. It will be done to tell their government, if you don't do this, it will be something different. And they'll be fighting them for us. We just need to be bold enough. We just call on our people to fund Madam Marianta. He don't tell me, he don't tell we say, he money they go now for ground zero to the boys. Our the city, it go for the boys. That's what we're lacking in former administration.
All right. Let's get back to Mike. We're going to come back to that, Uncle B, to discuss what Sako is saying out there. We'll come back to that right after this. But Mike, please give us your take on what you see in Babaju, in the what is that community again that no PT went there, and now you have in the Dschang, in the outskirts of Dschang. This is what we've been longing for all this while. I think that the impeach and remove president just never had a vision, even though we told him this was the way to go, and his argument was, no, if we step in there, We are no longer defending ourselves. The international community is talking to us because they see us as defending ourselves, not encroaching or getting out of our land. I thought that was quite a chicken way of prosecuting the war, isn't it?
Of course, and of course, La Republic loved hearing that. When we express such sentiments, they are very happy. They know we will not do anything to them. So when they now see us taking the war to them, as I was saying, first of all, let's go back to when this war started. What did they say? They said, "Oh, they are just 2 cubes of sugar. We'll crush them in 2 weeks. We'll use our gendarmes. We use our bees." You know the aura that these bees and the gendarmes had about them when before this war, 6 degrees. You know how the bees were looked upon as some a military that came from heaven that could do and undo. But our boys have completely rubbished their image. The bees are now people, when they hear that our fighters are coming, they get up and run. When they hear no pity is coming, everyone scampers to safety. They run and even leave behind their equipment. We saw the other day, they attacked one of their posts, the well-fortified posts, and they ran away and left their equipment behind. So the aura of invincibility that these people had before is gone. It's completely gone. But they know that and first of all, they know we are courageous. They know we are courageous, that we can take it to them wherever and whenever. Now that we're crossing to their territory, the message is being driven home that we mean business. At one time, Papa Tanji was running around saying, "Oh, the war is over. Oh, there are just a few pockets here and there." We don't hear him saying that anymore. He used to come to Bamenda, right? Let him dare now. Let him dare come to Bamenda again. Let him come to Bamenda. We will welcome him. So what I have to say here is this, Secretary Chris. The advantage of what we are doing now is that we are compelling the Republic to spend resources defending itself first before coming into Ambazonia. This is the best defensive strategy that we have now. They say the best defense is offensive. Because when you allow the ball to stay within your 18-meter box for so long, it eventually will find its way into your goalpost. That's how it is. So when you want to defend yourself, make sure you have a strong offensive. Let the opponent defend themselves. Stop leaving the ball to stay within your own 18-meter zone. That is not a good strategy. So this is the way to go. Let us compel them to spend resources defending themselves. That is the way we should do. And we should stop allowing them to make us feel like, we are 2 cubes of sugar. No, we are a nation called Ambazonia with defined boundaries. We are defending our territory. And we make business, and they need to understand that we will not stop. We will not stop until we are free. That is one other message that these attacks are sending to them. When we started with what? Machetes and cutlasses, sticks, and whatever, to then guns, to AKs, improvised explosives, now shoulder launchers, and we are now taking the war into their territory. We are making steady but progressive advancements in our arsenal and in our offensive against them. We are not retreating. We are advancing, showing them that we mean business. If they don't get the message, it's up to them. But we mean business, and we are going to get back our country, whether they like it or not. So that is the message that these attacks should send to La Republique, Secretary Chris. I hope you are getting it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Let's do one more thing, and we'll move to the next subject. And let me start with the Honorable Ngini. I have heard messages from Dschang, coming from Dschang today, speaking to all Southern Cameroonians in general. For those living in La République du Cameroon's territory, they are being warned of repercussions. What should our people be doing now? I think if anybody, that's my opinion, if anybody feels threatened in any way in La République du Cameroon, it is the moment for them to start thinking of returning home. Should that not be the message?
Yeah, you're right. There is not safe harbor within there's no refuge within the environment of the enemy. When you feel like Chairman Mike Fossey says here, taking major steps on the offensive, which is a challenge in the truth of war, because our people should have, be in the full acceptance that we are in the full-blown war. It's not a joke. It has proven true, and the Republic has known that we are not joking. We are proven beyond doubt that we are more than 2 cubes of sugar, and that we are undissolvable by the grace of God. And our people should be very conscious to be matured in their convictions, where to be and how to live on their lives. Don't give chances to the enemy. Now, so whatever we are telling our people, they are there. The messages we have gotten are little drops, as we can say. They who are there feel the impact of it because they hear, they see. The faces made against them are messages enough for them to carry to move them to the convictions of right directions that will secure them and sustain their lives, not to be at risk or not to be exposed foolishly. So they should feel the reality of what it takes and to know it is more safer in your home than in the stranger or in the enemy's bosom, wherever they are. So we don't know how better we can really put this. But they who are feeling the pinch of and listening and getting these messages, who will want to translate it to us, because we keep receiving the messages. Oh, have you heard this? What they're saying? Oh, it concerns us. You need to know this. How do we do? So please, it's time for action. We're at war and we're not retreating, we're not surrendering. And they should be matured in their convictions for the right steps in the right direction and moment. And there is no better way to direct it than to say, back home is the better place to be.
Uncle B, what message, how should Ambazonians in La République du Cameroon be thinking now?
Secretary, we have only one message. We don't have 2. Come back home. What are going to be faced now from 2 fronts. Look at what happened in that place where FFA went there today. There was people were there and Francophones are there. It affected everybody. Therefore, they cannot stay in Ambazonia according to them, and the same situation prevails in La République du Cameroon. So what do? You see, there's some sort of human feelings here, Sedekebo. We think that our people who are over there, let's be afraid of them. They have the right to come home peacefully. We have our people in all of La République du Cameroon that went there with nothing. What would it pay if our brothers in La République du Cameroon come back and meet their families back home? Which one is more tedious? And when you look how many people they've killed, it may be because we might have been thinking that no, we cannot do it because we have our brothers over there. We have more than 30,000, let's say about 1,000 to 2,000 dead. But if there's people, our people, they came home, they will be safe and live with their families. But our people left from Ambazonia, went to La République without even knowing anybody. That was more of a suffering than our people from La République coming home to live with their family, where they'll have a place to live and they'll have a place food to eat. So which one is tedious? Them staying there, I will refuse to take the war over there because they are there, or them coming in, I will take the war so that La République feels the pain I will feeling too. To me, I would think that the best thing for us to do is to come home, let our people feel the pain, and not let all our people feel the pain all over the place. The call is, please, if you want to go but to Gabon, other places, that's fine. But be assured that we are taking it over there. So make a choice. But to me, the best choice is come and meet your sister, your brother, and your father, and stay with them in the house. They'll provide you food to eat. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Uncle B. I will now take us to the other subject that I brought to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, Yesterday, they impeached and removed President Dr. Samuel Ekomesako put out what I will call an advertorial for what he calls the draft. And he began by accusing some of us in the interim government, he says, of trying to manipulate people and asking people to develop bitterness, anger against him. And then he asked a rhetorical question. They asked me, he said, or they asked him, he said, the questions why you couldn't stop Dschang, questions why you couldn't stop AFCON, questions why you couldn't stop 11 February and mountain race in Fako, and questions why there is no fighting going on. I should not say no fighting, very minimal fighting going on in Fako. And Sako said, they were asking me where I kept the money. They should have told you that they collected 100, and he sings this song all the time without any shame on his face. But he said they didn't tell you. If they had not taken $135,000, he would have bought 10 sticks or 10 big sticks and so on and so forth for Fako and for Victoria and for Boya and so on. He said, we are trying to dissuade people from giving in to his drive, donating towards his drive. I'd like to do a little response to Mr. Sako, ladies and gentlemen. But before I do that, I'd like to take you once more to this footage of his coming from Brazil. Take a look, take a listen.
Eu vi uma casa.
I walked there to go and ask whether that house is for rent.
E eu fui lá e perguntei se aquela casa estava para alugar.
I had no money in my pocket.
Não tinha dinheiro no meu bolso.
They said yes.
E eles disseram sim.
The house is for rent.
A casa está para alugar.
But that house is haunted.
Mas aquela casa é mal assombrada.
Nobody rents that house.
Ninguém aluga aquela casa.
If you pay your rent,
se você pagar o seu aluguel,
demons will throw you out.
Demônios vão te tirar de lá.
You cannot live there.
Você não pode viver lá.
I said I want to see the owner of the house.
E eu falei, eu quero ver o dono da casa.
So they took me to the owner.
Então me levaram ao dono.
I said I want to rent this house.
E eu falei, eu quero alugar essa casa.
Well, I don't have money.
Bom, eu não tenho dinheiro.
But if you can permit me to stay there, when I get money, I will pay you.
Se você me permitir que eu fique lá, quando eu conseguir dinheiro, eu te pago.
He said, can you stay there?
Ele disse, você pode ficar lá?
I said, my God can stay there.
Eu falei, meu Deus pode ficar lá.
He said, are you a pastor?
Ele disse, você é um pastor?
I said, yes, I'm a pastor.
E eu disse, sim, eu sou pastor.
He said, okay, no problem.
Ele disse, ok, sem problema.
I give you the keys.
Te dou a chave.
5-bedroom house.
Uma casa de 5 quartos.
So that is how I got a house to stay.
Então foi assim que eu consegui uma casa para ficar.
I entered there. I said, God,
eu entrei e eu disse,
you are the one who gave me this house.
Foi o Senhor quem me deu essa casa.
Darkness and light cannot dwell in the same house.
A treva e eu não podemos morar no mesmo lugar.
So I thank you for this house.
Então eu te agradeço por essa casa.
Hallelujah.
Aleluia.
I lived in that house for 3.5 years.
Eu morei sem cobrar nada. Eu nunca pedi nenhum valor para pregar o evangelho.
And I have been preaching for 22 years.
E eu prego há 22 anos.
So I have lost my job.
Então eu perdi o meu trabalho.
And God is telling me you will be the president of the nation.
E Deus está dizendo para mim, você vai ser presidente da nação.
You know, if I told somebody that, the person would say, something is wrong with my head.
Se eu tivesse dito para alguém isso, Deus me disse,
hand over the churches to your children.
Entrega as igrejas para os seus filhos.
I have an assignment for you.
Eu tenho uma tarefa para você.
So one day I came to church.
E aí um dia eu fui para a igreja.
I told my wife.
Falei para minha esposa.
God says we should hand over the church to the children.
Deus mandou eu entregar a igreja para os filhos.
He said, including the Bible school. I said, yes.
Ela falou, incluindo a escola bíblica, e eu disse sim.
He said, okay.
E ela disse ok.
So I came in front of the service.
E aí eu vim diante dos obreiros.
all my children.
Eu chamei todos os filhos.
The pastors.
Os pastores.
I said, God said, I hand over this church to you guys.
Filhos são obreiros formados no ministério.
You will take care of the Bible school.
Falei para eles, você vai cuidar da escola bíblica.
You will take care of the main congregation.
Você vai cuidar da congregação dos homens.
You in that city, you take care of that.
Você nessa cidade.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why I bring back this clip to you today. When you find a man who can stand before close to 1,000 people in that congregation and spill those kind of fabrications, the man has no respect. He has no pedigree for the truth. He is incapable of speaking the truth, and no sane person should take anything that he says with a pinch of the salt. The man, the only house he found to live in, according to him, was a haunted house. Do you even believe that? Of course, the owner of the house made a video to explain the circumstances, and he denied that house was never ever haunted. Sako actually took those people to court trying to claim the house, that he owns it. I don't want to go into the details, but he goes into that church and telling the people in the church how God told him he was becoming president, and he will not even dare mention the name of that country. Did you guys discern that? He won't say the president of which country. He won't say it. But God told him he was going to become president of the country. The country. Which country? We have no idea. But he said the moment God told him, God also told him, give out all your churches. Give the churches to your children, your spiritual children. And so you call your spiritual children and said, the church in Boya, the church in Tigo, the church in Bamenda, the church in Manfe. Please, you guys take care. God is giving me a new assignment. That is what he said in that church, including the Bible school. Fellow Ambazonians, Sako had a church in that haunted house. And there were there were 4 families. 4 families in that church. 4 families in that church. But again, I'm saying this so that when you see him outside looking very serious and coming across as an honest, decent man, he is not what you want. He is not what he wants you to believe. Now he came out yesterday and made certain disclosures. Number one, he said, we are manipulating the people not to participate in his draft. We are manipulating the people not to participate in his draft. Now, after you listen to this video that you just watched, who is really the manipulator? Who is trying to manipulate who? It is Samuel Ekome Sako trying to manipulate everybody, including Ambazonians. He manipulated Ambazonians for 4 good years. For 4 good years until, a few months ago, he was shown the door. He was shown the door. And of course, when they showed him the door, he would not leave. He would not leave until he was forcefully ejected. He is the only one manipulating. Samuel Ekome Sako is the one who has created pseudo restoration council, a pseudo what do you call a jewel house of what? I should call it. I should not even put Jua's name. There should be Sako's house of shame. Sako's house of shame is what it should be called. Jua is too honorable to be associated with somebody who has these tendencies of conning people, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody is manipulating people out there, it is not anyone out here, it is Sako himself. Let me bring a revelation to you. Sako has created his own pseudo restoration council. He created his own counties and his own LGAs. Now, many of you do not know, Sako has also now created his own team Ambazonia called ART. Sako has now created his own team Ambazonia, as you can find it out there on your screen. So he is calling it ART. Now, who is a member? We have no idea. But of course, Sako did this because he was ejected out of the original ARC. So he formed his own restoration council. He formed his own APP, or the local and the county governments. Now he has also formed his own ARC. Who are his partners? We have no idea. Now, talking about manipulation, trying at all costs to present himself as still in charge, to present himself as still relevant. That is what he has been doing. Again, if that is not manipulation, I don't know what it is. Now, Sako says nobody, I mean, they are making people to be angry with him. Nobody is making anybody to be angry with him out there. In fact, if anybody is angry out there with Sako, it is because of his own making. It is by his own making. If he had just gone out there to stand elections as Ambazonians demanded, I believe Sako would still be president today. He would still be president today if he stood elections. He refused to stand elections. He refused to go sit for an audit. What kind of a leader rules a country for 4 years and counting and won't want to go sit down for an audit, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, a man who is controlling, or who has controlled millions in dollars, he wouldn't want to sit for an audit. And he wants you to know, he wants you out there to believe. We want you to hate him. No, his actions are getting you out there to hate him. We want to know where our contributions went to. And now he is out there calling for another draft. And yes, there is no draft. Nothing like a draft in the vocabulary of this interim government. What we know today is called AROF, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we know today. It is called AROF. That is what we know today. That is what this interim government under Marietta is asking all Ambazonians to rally around. Rally around the Ambazonia restoration fee. That's what it means. Ambazonia restoration fee. And every Ambazonian in the diaspora is being called upon. The website, the platform will be launched very, very soon. And all you need to do is pay either to choose to pay $100 a month or $50 a month. And we will use that money to prosecute the war. Not a draft. The draft when we impeach president, impeach and remove president. That is what we are telling everybody out there. Please, remove draft, erase it. It doesn't exist. Anybody asking you for a draft should first of all tell you what they did with drafts in 2020, drafts in 2021, lava storm, presidential corners, all those presidential stuff, presidential baskets. We need to know. Anybody asking you for a draft or donation should tell you what they have done with what you gave them for the past 4 years. And yes, Ekome Sako says he wants to know if, in fact, he addressing that to me. Of course, I know that. He says, if they had not taken our 135,000 for some false procurement, he says he should have used that money. He could have used that money to buy weapons on the ground. For a man who did not use my trip to Boya to buy anything, at the end of my trip to Boya, the fighters were still fighting with Dane guns, and any automatic rifles they had on the ground, they had confiscated it from La Republic. Sako did not buy it. Nambere left Nigeria because he got disgruntled. Sako promised him sitting there, nothing was sent to him, and many others like that. But this is the challenge. This is the challenge. And I want every follower of Sako to take note of this. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't go out and run your mouth and quote figures if you cannot prove them. I am challenging everybody who so loves Sako to want to pay for his draft. I challenge you, ask Sako, if Sako is not the scammer and the liar that we have said he is. Please, if you love him and you want to see how serious, how honest he wants to be, demand for the receipt amounting to $135,000. And after you demand those receipts, ask him, to who did you pay the money? To who did you pay the money? And I don't care. And listen, let me simplify this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not asking for one lump sum receipt of $135,000. I don't care if there are 50 or 100 of those receipts. Let Sako put them together and say, fellow Ambazonians, this is the money that Chris Ano took, or through him we lost. I want, please, demand for those receipts. Demand for those receipts. The receipts will tell you who collected the money, who paid the money. Ladies and gentlemen, that is if it even exists. Because I know 150%, 135,000 was not paid, except they took that money, invested in Bitcoin, and they now want you to believe Chris Anu brought somebody who ate our money. We want to see the receipt. In fact, Sako declassified that mission. He should declassify the slave, isn't it? The receipts, isn't it? He should declassify the receipts. If he says there is some 135,000 out there that was squandered, let us see the receipts. And if I were you, if I had to give him any money, I would say, Mr. President, did you really say these guys, Chris Anu and his people, they took $135,000 from your government for supplies that didn't come? Mr. President, I would like to support your government, but can we see those receipts? Can we see them? I'm challenging Sako to put it out there if you want people to believe he is this honest guy. And let's see who is the manipulator and the scammer. But if Sako will not, ladies and gentlemen, just know that the same person putting out that information in that audio that came out yesterday talking about $135,000 is the same personality in Brazil, distributing churches and Bible schools and living in haunted houses. That is the challenge. Please, everybody out there, put that pressure. Ask Sako to produce the receipts of $135,000. You do not take $135,000, pay any person, and not keep receipts of it. We want to see the receipts. Let's know who is a scammer here. Let's know who is a scammer here, a manipulator here. Mr. Sako, I challenge you. Put out the receipts amounting to $135,000. It's very easy for you to come out and say, oh, they took $135,000. How about the $59,000 you were about collecting from Mogamo? We don't want to be. And they ended up paying $39,000 for which they saw nothing. Only you and Don't Wannabe know what $39,000 did and where it went to. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that's my challenge. That's my challenge to Sako out there and his surrogates and supporters. Don't be so, don't act like buffoons, like people who have no senses. Ask Mr. Sako to produce the receipts for $135,000 and prove his case. Prove his case, ladies and gentlemen. Because we have heard about this $135,000 again and again and again and again, isn't it? They keep on singing it. I am challenging them. Those who are propagating the Kemi Ashus and the Mildred Cheese and the old headmaster Ochiba, Paul Nilong, please, if you guys are really smart men and women, ask Sako. Yes, Dr. Sako, we hear you. Can you show us the receipt? Let's see where that money actually went to. Who was paid and who made the payment? Who collected the money? I really hope they do so. But fellow Ambazonians, do not be fooled. Don't give your money. Do not pay a dime to somebody who keeps on manipulating you. Collecting your money will not render any account for it. All right, let me bring in my panel again. Uncle B, let me start with Mike. Mike, you put out an audio today talking about this same issue for Sako, talking about this money that they took from him, money that should have bought weapons, ammunition for the restoration fighters. But you know, am I wrong in saying the receipts you will produce? Mike, please.
Of course, you're not wrong, Sir Chris. I was forced to make a statement again today because for quite some time now, I had decided to move on from Sako. But then Sako is like, I call him like a come no go. He just keeps sprouting up again in ways that you least expect. So when he does that, there is a need to come out and straighten out some things and remind people of who this guy is. And that is why I was compelled again to talk about him today. Now, I would like to say this. In order to come to a certain conclusion, there are certain assumptions that you have to make in life. And this implies that in order for you to draw a conclusion that where Sako is not an honest person, he tells lies and he's not very truthful in terms of his financial dealings and those around him. So I would like to use a mathematical analogy here to make my point. In order to, let's take, for example, if you say A, the value of A is equals to 6, and the value of B is equals to 4, it is then you can now conclusively state that A plus B is equal to 10, and you will be correct because you have already stated that the value of A is 6 and the value of B is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. Therefore, you can conclude that A plus B is equal to 10. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when you look at what Sako said in the audio you just played in South America, in order to believe that Sako is an honest man, you have to first of all believe that Sako gave churches to his sons or his children, whatever he calls it. In order to believe that Sako is an honest man, you have to believe that Sako lived in a haunted house that was given to him by a desperate landlord because he was a pastor. Now, if you fail to believe these two things, and yet you still conclude that Sako is an honest person, it is like saying that the value of A is 6, but the value of B is 3. And yet, you see, and I've come to the conclusion, therefore, that the fact that those who are still hanging around Sako, it is not because they do not understand that he's a crooked person. It is not because they believe him to be an honest man. These people, those who are still hanging around Sako, know very well that he is corrupt, that he is crooked, because I don't see anyone who can listen or watch that video and still think that this man is honest. As a matter of fact, when I watched that video, when I saw that video and I watched it the first time, that is the feeling, man. The only thing is they themselves are corrupt. That is the conclusion I've come to. Anyone who is still following Sako at this time is that person himself or herself is not an honest person.
All right.
Anybody who has any iota of integrity, of decency, will distance himself or herself from Sako. And for anyone to even go out there and not just follow him, but take his or her money and give to Sako, is the highest demonstration of gullibility. It is just pathetic. I feel just sorry for someone who would do something like that. I don't know what else to say, Chris.
All right, comrade. We're going to run up really quick because there is a meeting that I'm supposed to be part of that I am not in there yet. But Uncle B, give us your take on these Sako's shenanigans. We thought he was gone, but he probably thought everybody has forgotten about his conmanism, and he came back trying to play the victim in the audio you listen. Give us your take on that.
Yeah, Secretary, thank you for that. And before even, remember there was an audio he sent and that I reacted to it where he defined transparency and accountability. I was blaming Ambazonia for blaming him for not that he did not tell us what the money was. We cannot blame him because we don't know how much money he got. You see, when they caught conmanism, some of those people are sometimes very intelligent. And if you don't read between the lines, it will be difficult to catch them. I give you a simple example. The flyer that he sent out yesterday about his own team Ambazonia.
Yeah.
If you look at those flyers, it's almost the same thing, except the fact that Bo Herbert, the one that came from Burberry, had the headlines for what they were going to discuss, but he did not carry. If you see the background, it's all the same. And if you see the placement of Team Ambadi Act, Fireside Chat, all media houses are invited. All those things are on the, and this you have it right here. If you look at these flyers, look at the placement of all of these things. It's almost the same thing. Anybody who will not take some sort of a keen look will believe that they are the same people. But then it is
right.
not.
That is what he does. That is what is called conmanism, scamming.
Yes,
you take somebody's flyer, go sit down, do your own, design your own to look the same, just to cause confusion. When the legitimate acts put out a flyer, if Bo Herbert's Twitter notes were not there on that other one, everybody would think that this is the same group organizing the same event, whereas Sako is out there impersonating what this other group, what a legitimate act wants to do.
And you see, if you see it, look at the time on those things. And they say all Ambazonians are invited. All media outlets are invited. They are all in those two things. And you see his own starts at 6. Strangely starts at 6. I think Bo Herbert's on starts at 8. He wants to think that if somebody see that you are coming to his first, and you might not go to that of the real team Ambazonia. That is what is called manipulation in the highest order. You go to audio I talked about. The former president defines transparency and accountability, just like saying that the money that I've been raising, I've always told you how much comes in pledges and how much comes in cash. It ends it there. It doesn't go further. In that same audio, he says, "You did not even know how much money came in, and yet you are blaming me for not doing this." You ask yourself, who was supposed to tell us how much money that came in? He was the person. And then if you say cash came in too, where did the cash go to? You were supposed to tell us how much money came in cash and in pledges, and they told us where the money went to. You never told us where the money went to. You never told us where the money came in. And you can't make an audio to Goliba Ambazonia that you cannot blame because you did not know the total amount that came in. Must we know the total amount before we ask you for the money? So it brings to mind Secretary Chris and my honorable panelists here, the top person we are dealing with. He thought that when you start hammering on something time and over, even people, there are people, those people that I said we needed to take them to a psychiatric center for them to evaluate whether actually there are people that score them within doctors or this and this and this. When they sit and listen to this guy and they go by, even he himself listening to himself, how does he feel to Ambazonian people? And yet he's calling us to come and give him money again. I wouldn't want to enlist all that you already said where the money goes to. But then, Secretary Chris, let's double our effort. This man is not going anywhere. If we think that it's going to go anywhere, with him forming his own team Ambazonia, he has split he gone to divide us in every tenet of our revolution. Anything that we believe in are all divided. Go from urge Israel till now, he has crossed over from to the Team Ambazonia. Team Ambazonia is not a Sarko's creation or the IG's creation. It's the embodiment of all the leaders of Ambazonia. When you do this, how are you placing it? I don't understand what he is doing. I don't understand. Even the Restoration Council that he divided, there were 7 people that he ran away with. He has about 31. You take 7 and run away with it, and almost 20 something are left on the forum. He's decided to rule with the minority and not even with the majority of Ambazonia. The Restoration Council was not all of IG's creation. Restoration Council was ordered as well. Capo is the Restoration Council, SNC in the when you dissolve it, have you taken over those other groups that were in the Restoration Council? Were they of your making? So he's just somebody who doesn't want to compete. What he says should be final. And of course, we already know that. And for what we need for educating our people. Educate them, because there are quite a lot of them who don't even understand. Now he's blocked off from even doing anything with ABC. And that's why he's using all his shenanigans and ABC and misinforming some people. And they are and he framed the story like this. They believe that our president, and the way they call it, says something. But when you give them the contrary, it makes the difference. So, gentlemen,
all right,
let's go out and educate our people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Uncle B.
Let's reinforce our grassroots
communication. Please, Honorable Ginny, yes, give us your take on this, and that will be the last thing we'll say. Have to end this short and run into a meeting. Honorable Ginny, please.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. And just to add to what Honorable Son and Chairman Mike have said, I really appreciate the fact that such an audio came out at a time like this, because it's a call for concern to those who have ears to hear, and the minds can wake up for them to sit up and not be distracted. You know, when you follow the audio, the way he begins, Sako begins in that audio, it's a lamentable voice of somebody who is disappointed, who has failed, and who is so discouraged, because he said everybody's calling on blaming me here and there, saying I failed to stop this, the can, I failed to stop the World Cup, I failed to do this and that, and they're not asking the people who bought in scammers, who took over 135,000. Now, if you were a president in charge of a cause, and you were not able to safeguard, which that which was given to you by the people for the cause of their well-being or their revolution, and it was snatched from your hands. If that were to be true, then you failed. That is what Ambazonians should understand. So when all bringing up this information, some people have been complaining, oh, talking this thing about Thomas Sako, we don't have to mention. We're not talking about Sako because he's important or an important subject. I'm glad that we can talk about him in season because he came up with whatever, which is information of revelation to those who need to know this man has not only been a scammer, but somebody who has decided to dissuade, persuade, distract, manipulate, and destroy the struggle. When you see him stand before thousands of people in the congregation, which is the church of God, and lie the way it does, you see a man with a seared conscience who have no iota of, who had decided to wither off anything of truth and justice. His conscience is seared or kind of roasted to the point where there is no remorse to whatever he's saying. Because if you were to ask the searching questions, where are these churches, or who were these churches, who are these pastors, what has become about them, you will find nothing. So all he has been saying and trying to cover up has been proven. And in lamentation and frustration, he's trying to persuade the people to know, oh, give me another chance. Only fools can give such a man another chance unto frustration. So it's a call for an awakening, like Uncle B and Mike have said here. Those who are committed to it because of their entanglement, let them go with him because they will die the death of fools. I want to believe that the flyer that he brought up in season has been a counter action to dissuade people from not going on to listen to what Comrade War and the act will be coming out to defend about the truth of their commitment and their transparency to want to follow the pathway of justice. Because, you know, he tried to bring out the information the way it is there, but no matter how you try to produce the counterfeit, it can never be exact. Now, Ambazonians should know. It is so sad when I follow that information and I discovered that the chair lady of this Team Act that are already going on with negotiation is Madame Lokbati Winifred. Honorable, can you think about that? The very chair lady
she is like the all and all, the almighty.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad because in the Restoration Council, she was the one who stood up and told us that if these things about Sako are true, she will be the first person to sue him to the highest court in America. There. And when she failed to dissuade us from impeaching him with evidence of his unconstitutionalities and all the abuses against the struggle, jumped out there and became a different thing. And I wonder where her senses and her consciousness and her testimony as a child of God has been. No doubt, such a pastor can only pastor such people.
All right, quickly.
Yes, if I could just make a quick summary of Sako's failures as a leader. When he complains that people are blaming him for the failures, the series of failures he has had in his government, the failure of my trip to Boya first, the failure of Lava Storm 1, which ended in nothing, Lava Storm 2, the federal marshal, it failed. And you would know even the farm tools, it failed. In every instance, Sako blames someone else. He does not assume the responsibility as a leader. That is what a leader does, because the buck stops with the leader. That is your responsibility to manage those who are under you. When you issue out orders for a project, you supervise to make sure that those who are carrying out the project are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And post the project, you're supposed to hold them accountable. Let them give you a report of how they perform, so you correct those mistakes going forward. You don't keep making the same mistake over and over and over. And each time you point the finger at someone else, there's mismanagement of funds, you point at someone else, and then you sit there like this squeaky clean one. And then you go to find out your hands are all over it. This man is not a leader. He's not a leader. Well, a leader is one who takes responsibilities for the failures of his organization or his country.
and you make sure that you correct those mistakes. But he does not do that. He hides under the blanket, but his hands are in every basket. When they go to look at it, it's he who is eating the granules, and the bag is going empty, but he's pointing the finger at someone else. That is what Sako does. And he's very good at it. And he deceives a lot of gullible people. At one time, I was one of those. But no more. No more. We know who he is now. And those who are still following him, I don't know what Kool-Aid they're drinking, as I said before, but let them keep drinking it. They will soon find themselves drunk to death.
All right.
But Ambazonians are gone.
All right, comrades. I think if those his supporters out there are very sincere with what they do, I think they should be indeed asking him, demanding for the receipt of the money, the figures he is putting out there, because the accountability, it is his responsibility, as Honorable Engineer puts it, to put accountability out there on all the finances that have passed through his hands. It is not his accusers. It is he to put the receipts out there and say, this is what we gave to these guys. And we never saw what happened with it. I really hope that his supporters are sincere enough to demand. We want to see those receipts. All right, comrades, unfortunately, we're going to end here. There will be no phone calls. I have to rush into a meeting. I look forward to being back here on Monday. Thank you very much for being part of the show. But before I go, again, I really love to appeal to all of you out there. ABS needs your support. ABS needs your support. Please use the financial platforms you find on the screen, Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal, to do a one-time donation. A one-time donation to support ABS. We need it. We need it to have ABC stay in the air. We really appreciate it for those of you who have already done so. Thank you very much again. The payment platforms are there, Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal. You can use your phone to take a screenshot of that information and go ahead and make that payment right after the show. All right. In the absence of any other thing else, ladies and gentlemen, I will call it a day. And again, I look forward to being with you on Monday. Let's hope that more invasion gets into La République du Cameroon, and we'll come here and smile and salivate, and while La République laments. Once more, thank you for tuning in, and God bless you all. See you on Monday.
Would you like to make a six-figure income? Well, you have come to the right place. At Venbati LLC, we can make your dream come true by training you to become a professional Scrum Master in just 6 short weeks. You heard me right, just 6 weeks. This may be the biggest life-changing decisions you will ever make. They say luck is when opportunity meets preparation. If you were walking down the street and opportunity walked past you, would you recognize it? Well, here is an opportunity you won't want to miss. At Venbati LLC, our world-class trainers would prepare you for one of the best career changes you will ever make. And then you can consider yourself lucky when you make that 6-figure income and laugh your way to the bank. If you are that person who can recognize an opportunity, call us at 240-701-7796. Check out our website, www.venbati.com. We have limited spaces. First come, first serve. Come one, come all.